morning and welcome to Fresh from Maryland Snap Ed. This is our series all about the wonderful things that are coming from Maryland farms this time of year. So we are just in the peak of the summer bounty, and we are excited to bring you information about where to purchase these foods, how to use benefits if you have them to purchase them, and then what to do with them, how to store them, how to prepare them. So if you're new to Fresh from Maryland, welcome. If you're a returning viewer, please introduce yourself as you know, or even if you're a new viewer, introduce yourself in the comments. If you're from Maryland, your county is great to know. We like to know where folks are joining us from. If you're from outside of Maryland, your city and state. We will respond to questions as we're able throughout the broadcast and comments as well. So please enter those in the chat and we'll get to them throughout the program. So we are joined today by Tammy Humberson and Mandy Hawkins, who are in Western Maryland. They are Maryland Snap Ed. So Tammy is our project leader and nutrition educator in Allegheny County, and Mandy works on healthy food access in the Western Maryland region, but they are coming to us from the Garrett County Extension Office. So welcome, Tammy and Mandy. And as is our tradition in Fresh from Maryland, can you get us started with your farmers market shout out?
Sure. Hello, everybody. I'm just going to do a little bit of farmers market shout out here. In Garrett, the Mountain Fresh Farmers Market is in Oakland every Wednesday and Saturday from 10 to 1. And they do, of course, accept EBT and WIC. They have tokens and a $10 match for that. So that is always a great place to find yourself on a Wednesday or Saturday morning at 10. And then, of course, in Allegheny County, Cumberland and Frostburg, in Cumberland downtown every Thursday at 9:30 to 1 on the downtown Cumberland Mall, outside Mall, Baltimore Street, actually. And then on Friday in Frostburg, on Water Street in Frostburg, 9:30 to 1 as well. So, and they all also accept EBT and WIC, of course. There's several farmers there that do as well. So
wonderful. So just while we're before we get started, just want to welcome Crystal, Stephanie, India, and Shondell. Again, feel free to introduce yourselves if you haven't already, and can keep comments and questions coming. So thanks for the information on those farmers market or those farmers markets. We will post information in the chat. Also, if you are from somewhere else in Maryland, not in the Garrett or Allegheny County region, we will post the Maryland Farmers Market Directory for 2021, which is the best comprehensive list that's out there for Maryland farmers markets, including location hours and whether they accept the various benefits. If you are going out to the market for the first time, we do advise using the website or contact information that's available in that directory to confirm the details before you go. Some things are in flux. Sometimes the markets, the hours might shift, or they have, the changes in their benefits acceptance and things like that. So always confirm before you go, but that's a great place to start. Also a reminder that if you have received PEBT, the pandemic EBT, which goes out to families that either participate in SNAP or their kids receive free and reduced school meals, those benefits are just the same as EBT benefits and can be spent at the farmers market as well. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's talk about our featured ingredient of the week. So what is the veggie du jour for August 12th, 2021?
peppers. We have bell peppers, which are in our farmers markets here in Western Maryland right now. Today, we're going to be using orange, red, and yellow bell peppers, which of course are sweet. A stir fry is a really versatile meal because you can use anything that's in your refrigerator. Whatever you have left over, if you have one zucchini, one squash, a pepper or two, and an onion, you've got a stir fry. You don't need to put it over rice. We do have a whole grain brown rice today, though, to serve this meal over. Also, a stir fry is fairly easy because you don't have to chop your veggies real small, just a rough chop.
Before we get into the details of that recipe, let's talk about peppers in general. So you talked about bell peppers. They are a sweet pepper, but there are other varieties of sweet peppers that are out there. So some of the ones we've talked about are sweet banana peppers. You also see those little ones sometimes you get in the bag at the supermarket that are like, they're like about,
sweets.
yeah, the super sweets. So you might want to, if you're going to the farmer's market, make sure you talk to the farmer about whether you're getting a sweet pepper or a chili pepper, because there's tons of chili peppers out there. So
Yes, tons of hot peppers everywhere at the market.
yeah.
Those farmers have talked me into a few of those.
And they're, if you're into hot stuff, they're not only are they hot, but they also have really different flavor profiles. So if you like spice, they're so fun to experiment with in your cooking. And if you want to be able to control the heat, you can always take out the seeds and those sort of white membranes, because that's where they pack the heat. Let's pull up. We have a few more fun facts and tips about bell peppers. So you mentioned, what colors do you have there today, Tammy and Mandy?
Red, orange, and yellow.
And those are the ones you'll see most commonly at the grocery store, but at the farmer's market, you might also see peppers, like Peter Piper picked a peck of purple peppers, and even white peppers. And then some common ingredients that you might see in the spice aisle come from peppers. So paprika is sweet bell peppers that have been dried and ground up, or chili powder are spicy peppers. And you don't really know which varieties are dried and ground up. Cayenne is specifically cayenne peppers, which are little red long peppers that are ground up into cayenne. So we talked a little bit about sort of some tricks if you have a bunch of peppers on hand for sort of pre-prepping and storing. Tammy, you mentioned that.
Yes, I go ahead and clean the peppers, cut them in half, clean the seeds out, put them on a cookie sheet and freeze them so they're frozen individually. Then you can put them in a bag and put them in the freezer. And then whenever you're ready to make stuffed peppers or any pepper dish, you can just take them right out. People do chop up their peppers and freeze them chopped up. They wouldn't be good to use on a salad as a fresh pepper. You would have to put them in soup or a recipe.
Great. Yeah. And peppers are a great source of vitamin C. In fact, I think they might even ounce for ounce be higher in vitamin C than citrus. So they're delicious and they're abundant right now at the market. Before we move on, welcome Kristen, welcome Keshia, Shirley, and Tina. So, all right, so let's go ahead and start talking about the stir fry. Let's see the ingredients we're going to be using.
All right, today we are going to be, of course, featuring the peppers, red, orange, and yellow. We also have, let me see, can you see this bowl? We have the peppers chopped up. We have the mushrooms, zucchini, and squash. So we're going to be using all of these veggies that are going to cook very quickly in the electric skillet. Now, what we've done first is we have chopped our onion up, and it's been sauteing actually. Once the onion is soft, you go with your next two very tasty things, which are ginger and garlic. My husband happens to grow garlic, so we have fresh garlic. Mandy has already been chopping the peppers, but as you can see, the inside of the pepper has the membrane and the seeds. Okay. She's going to go ahead and clean out that pepper and get it in the garbage bowl. Now, our onions are soft. They've been sauteing and they are soft. See if I can put that right there. So, as you can see, I have the garlic and I'm sorry, this is ginger. I grated fresh ginger, and our garlic can go in now. The reason why we don't put garlic in right away, we want to get our onions soft first, is so it doesn't burn, because garlic does seem to burn. And maybe I have that too hot.
Pop that one. I'll turn it down.
Okay. So I just sort of half the pepper, cut it into strips. And then we're just gonna do a rough chop, so we don't need to make them real little. We don't need to mince it or anything.
And I love that you mentioned the flexibility of this recipe. The size of the vegetables is going to impact how quickly they cook. So if you want to spend more time chopping and less time cooking, you could cut them all very small. But yeah, a rough chop is going to be great. And especially if they're all roughly the same size, they'll cook at the same speed. We did just post the link to the recipe. Now you'll see in that recipe, it gives a flexible range of vegetables you can use. A lot of the vegetables mentioned in the recipe are more springtime vegetables, but here we're showing how to make it with beautiful summer vegetables that are in abundance right now.
So we are gonna go ahead and add our veggies. This is gonna make a really full skillet, but as the veggies cook, they're going to lose their size for sure. And now we're gonna go ahead and season with 1/8 of a teaspoon of cayenne pepper, which just gives it a little heat. There you go. And then 3 tablespoons of a light soy sauce. And we're also going to add 1/4 cup of water because we do want these to steam before a little bit to get finished cooking before they would actually get some char on them from the stir fry itself.
Yeah, and you mentioned, that they cook down. So when we talk about that in cooking, that, something cooks down, it's really because the vegetables are made of so much water. And when that cooks out, then they kind of shrink down.
Mhm.
And that's kind of something we talk to a lot of our students about in nutrition education lessons, that fruits and veggies, not only are you getting lots of nutrients and deliciousness, you're also getting water for your body. When we cook them, some of that releases, but it's still there. And that's a wonderful way to talk about sort of how vegetables grow. That rainwater goes into the soil and then up into those plants. Well, that is an abundant skillet.
It is. Mm. And it smells really good, I might add.
It smells amazing.
Wonderful. And look at the colors there.
Yeah, and remember with the spices and the add-ins, again, that is to taste. So, Tammy mentioned her husband doesn't love ginger, doesn't love fresh ginger. She could leave it out.
I put it in anyway because he can't tell it's in there once we get it all cooked up with the garlic.
Yeah, the heat level, if you're a fan of the sriracha sauce, the rooster sauce, that would go nicely with this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's a sweet chili sauce that we like to buy.
Oh, nice.
Really good on this,
Mm.
or a hoisin sauce. You could take a different twist on it.
If any of our viewers have thoughts on what they would add, either in terms of the different veggies that they would like to see in this stir fry or the different seasonings that they think would enhance it, you can add that to the comments. So while that's cooking down, we're going to talk about another use for peppers. So what do you got for us?
Well, we do have a gazpacho that we prepared yesterday. Basically, what gazpacho is a soup that is partially pureed, and then you add some fresh vegetables at the end.
Mhm.
So we have,
There you go.
Mhm.
okay, should I,
Yeah, we can see it.
okay, awesome.
I believe gazpacho means spicy soup. I think
Spicy
that's what
soup.
it means.
Okay, so we took onions, celery, garlic, of course, our peppers. What else did we have? We have lemon juice, tomato juice, and then we pureed it using a blender,
Mhm.
just a regular blender, and chilled it overnight. And then to serve the soup, you would just add a spoonful of the fresh veggies right in.
And cilantro, I believe. right?
Yes, there is a
Mhm.
whole actual cup of cilantro in the soup. Now, I am a person that does not like cilantro, but you could put peppers. I'm sorry, you could put mint,
Parsley?
you could put
Parsley?
parsley, basil.
Mm,
You
basil.
could put all those things in your gazpacho. So it looks very pretty. It has all the colors. And This is just packed with nutrients, fiber and vitamins.
And yes, that's a soup served cold, which is some people love that this time of year. It's very flexible and just, I mean, absolutely packed. It's almost like drinking a vegetable smoothie.
Yes.
So,
yes.
But very refreshing as the start to a meal or on the side. And just a great way to use up a ton of veggies you might have in your fridge.
Yes, not to complicate, but also before you make the gazpacho, this definitely looks like a fresh salsa. Just eat that with a good whole wheat tortilla or a chip or something. But that would make a great fresh salsa.
Excellent. I had some responses to our question about what they would add to the stir fry. Kristen would add broccoli. We have Snap Ed Moco is joining us, and they said they would add a jicama for a little extra sweetness. We talked about jicama last week on Facebook Live in a fruit salad, and we also mentioned that it can be eaten cooked. So great. How is the stir fry coming along? Are those veggies cooking down for us?
It is.
Beautiful.
Not piled up anymore.
Excellent. All right. So while that is finishing, we're going to talk about what is coming up next in our Facebook Live series. So this is actually our last scheduled episode in our summer season of Fresh from Maryland. So we have covered, I believe we started in May through August of just the summer's bounty. So this was our last scheduled episode. We definitely will be bringing more local produce back into our Facebook content, whether it's live or on the feed. But we're going to take a little siesta next week. We hope to have at the same time broadcast some recorded content from a farm that grows pepper. So we're working on getting that together, but we will be back live in 2 weeks on August 26th. And we're going to do 2 weeks of back to school feature. So some schools in Maryland have already started or will be starting next week. But over the next couple of weeks, kids are going back into the classroom, some of them for the first time in a very long time. And so we really want to shine a light on resources there to kind of get the school year off to a healthy start. So on August 26th, we're going to have a school meals update talking about what to expect from school meals. And there is some exciting stuff going on with school meals that's really going to be supportive of families. And then on September 2nd, we're going to share some tips for a healthy school year, sort of how to get things off on the right foot, things you can do at home, and ways you can support your kid and their teacher and their classroom to really to have a healthy school year. If you have questions on either of these topics, you can submit them in advance on our Facebook page. We'll be putting up some promotional posts that you can respond to with your questions, or you can just send an email to eatsmartmd@gmail.com. If you are watching this live on Facebook, you know where to find us. If you're watching it recorded, make sure you like our Facebook page, but everybody make sure you turn on your notifications so that when we do go live, you receive reminders to join the broadcast. Other places that you will find us on the web are our Eat Smart website, extension.umd.edu/eatsmart. That is our main site for our consumer content. So that's where all of our recipes are. It's really great recipes. You can search it easily by ingredient. You can, there's pictures now. Our old website didn't have pictures of our recipes, so that makes it a lot more enticing when you can see what it looks like. We also have other resources for healthy eating and links to our blog as well, which is a lot of great content. There's our Facebook page, and then all of the Fresh from Maryland and other Facebook Live episodes are archived on our YouTube page, along with really amazing nutrition education resources. We have our full curricula, nutrition education curricula for a variety of ages in video format. There we have 2-minute recipe videos that show you how to make something step by step. So please check out our YouTube channel and subscribe to it as well. So let's real quick go back to Tammy and Mandy and have a look at our final dishes. Oh, that looks so
Looking
good.
good. We also have a plate ready to go with the rice on. And this is looking very good. We had to turn the skillet up a little bit so it would boil a little bit quicker, and nothing's burning because we do have the liquid down in there with the soy sauce. But I think everything is softening up pretty nicely, and we will go ahead and get some on our plate. Now, we didn't add any salt and pepper because soy sauce itself is fairly salty, but you could, if you thought you needed some salt and pepper on there, get a couple more. All right.
Well,
All right, so there we go. Very colorful. Didn't take very long. A great healthy meal with your whole grain and all of the veggies. So
And you
you're
could-
getting fiber and your vitamins.
and you could add some protein to it if you wanted to add some chicken. That would go great in there. Tofu if you're a tofu eater. But it, really make a satisfying meal out of that. Well, it does look beautiful. Lovely job, ladies. And we thank everyone who joined us. And we will be back live in 2 weeks. Again, we hope to have some recorded content available if you want to check out some more lovely farm footage at our regular time next Thursday. But we thank you for joining us and look forward to having you with us in future episodes. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.